How did that come about? Y'all, all four of y'all.
Well, it was D. Ellis. D. Ellis was the mastermind. You know what I mean? That was all D. Ellis's dream, and he had that. And he said he had it for a couple of years.
Two things. I know you were touring with D. Ellis,
the Rat Pack,
Rat Pack.
Yeah.
What's his name from
Gross.
Houston? Gross. Terry Gross.
Yeah, the Fool.
Yeah,
one of my favorite comics of all time.
Man, I love Terry. Man,
Right,
I love Terry.
Right.
How did that come about? Y'all, all four of y'all.
Well, it was D. Ellis. D. Ellis was the mastermind. You know what I mean? That was all D. Ellis's dream, and he had that. And he said he had it for a couple of years. And he asked Q, because that's one of his best friends, and he asked Gross. So then when I moved here, probably like 4 years ago, you know what I mean, we just connected. I saw it. Oh, Newt, what up? You know what I mean? Hey, I'm new to the city, whatever. And he was like, I told him I'd do comedy. Well, I got a show. Why don't you just slide through? Slid through, roasted. just tore that show up. And he's like, yo. And he liked my style because my style is different than a lot of people. So he was like, yo, I got this group I want to do, blah, 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 blah. And the rest was history, man. And then once we got together, we did some shows. And then I used some of my connections to take us out of Dallas. You know what I mean? So we went all over to the improvs, and that's what it's for. It's like, the stuff that I have, the connections that I have, the people that I have in my business sense, like what I was telling you. I just don't want to just do this. If we're going to do this, let's do this right.
Right.
Let's do it all out. So it couldn't be a better group of guys, man. We're all different, but we're all funny. And everybody's, it just gels. It makes like a good gumbo.
Yeah.
Where you can have all this stuff by itself. That's good. But once you put it together, boy, it's a beast.
Yeah, because Terry is a damn fool, man.
And he liked that all for no reason. Man, I was just with him last weekend, and he get on my nerves. Just you be like, man, not all the time. You be like, I don't care, I don't live here. You be like, that's him, man. That's my big bro.
Yeah. And I want to talk to you about this because I don't think a lot of young comics understand that it's a lot of money in doing clean comedy. You know what I mean? And I know is that more so? And I could be off. Is that more so your lane, or you just?
I'll be honest with you. How can I say this? So I know a lot of comics that may be funnier than me. You know what I'm saying? Been in the game longer than me, bigger face, bigger known, but I got way more money than them. You see what I mean? So remember I told you I'm my business mind. And a lot of times, man, I get booked on corporate events. So every time you see my feet, you know how I be posting exit row? Every time I post my feet exit row, that's at least $3,500. You see what I mean? And I knew the game, and that's what's working with Tyler and all of the people that I worked with. It showed me it showed me the game. Yeah. So it's like I'm not gonna sit here and fight over $75 in a comedy club for 10 minutes where I get the mentality that's like, well, hey, let me do these corporate events. So I have 2 degrees. I'm smart. I'm educated. So I've mastered to where I can host anything, from concerts to corporate. Like I was a spokesperson for United Way. You know what I mean? In Twin Cities, right. So it's like, you don't think I know, and the money, and that's the thing they look for, to keep it entertaining. They don't like the people to get up there and be like, this today is a green eyes we have here, and, let's turn the book over. No, they want somebody to be entertaining, but yet professional. And that's where a lot of guys mess up, and they get out of their way. They're in their own way. Is to be professional, just do the different things. Like I'm a straight businessman. Like I get calls on a regular from local comics now. I don't like to call them local, but my peers, where they ask me questions and I'm teaching them game. This is how you get a sponsor. This is how you do this. Where don't kind of do this. But everybody's style is different, so everything is not for everybody. But I still try to help them on the business side. Like one thing I hate is when a comic doesn't have a professional headshot. That kills me. It's like you got an iPhone. Take a professional. Don't send me nothing that would be, what I'm saying, that's like on a menu, a Baptist menu picture. Well, ain't nobody who wants that. Right. Put on something, be cool, be casual, get a nice photo. You haven't learned that yet.
Right.
So it's like I try to teach them the game so that they can be like, don't let nobody know that you knew. You got to have photo shoots. You got to have all that stuff. So when you give it to them, they be like, oh, he got it. He got fake it till you make it. You know what I'm saying? And that's just what it is. Walking there, they don't know what you haven't done.
Right.
You know?
Right.
So that has just always been my mindset.
Man, you are dropping some gems on, and like I don't know if did you answer, is that the clean part? You just doing it for because that's just your lane.
That's just my lane. That's just who I am. You know what I mean? So like my grandma, I'll never forget, man. My grandma, God rest her soul, evangelism for Ophelia Ephraim. I remember because of Comic View, when I first started, I went to this club. Big shout out to AD Anthony Demmer out of Denver, man, one of the legends, you know. And they had comedy, and I went out there and thought, my cousin just talked about this. I went out there because I was in a hood, you know what I mean? So I went out there, was like, mother, Billy. Nobody laughed. Because these people knew me. They was all like,
that ain't him.
That's not you.
Yeah.
And when I got off, my grandma said, baby, why the hell?
She was my dear.
That's how.
Why the hell you talking like that, huh? Why the hell? You don't need to cuss on nothing. What the hell? What was you doing? That's not you, baby. Be true to yourself.
I felt like it was a Medea skit. Yeah. You know Medea.
You know, God sometimes just will tell you just need to slow down, you know.
Yeah.
And I never did it again. And I was like, you know what? I'm gonna be true to myself. And that. Then I went right back in there that next week because I had something to prove. Gang members, drug dealers, strippers, just gangster people was in there, and I tore that room up clean. And they appreciated that. You know what I mean? Dang near standing ovation. So that let me know, and it took my peers to let me know who I was and not to change. You don't need to change. You shared chi. You ours.
Yeah.
And that's what I love about it. And it's like you always have people around you, but you got to listen. Don't think you too big to listen. Then you're going to fail every time.
Mm-hmm. How did somebody get into, I guess, because I went to one of your shows that you had at the Addison Improv the other day. It was a gospel show, right? And it was all clean, packed house.
Yeah.
And I'm like, how's he doing this on a Wednesday? Getting church folks out on a Wednesday and pack this out? Like, how do people even start in doing gospel comedy or even getting that
Okay, that's
arena?
a two-part question. First question, how do you get the church folks out on a Wednesday? You give away the tickets. Church people is not gonna pay for tickets on a Bible study night. You see what I'm saying?
Okay.
And we gave away those tickets. You know what I mean? But we knew the mission. The mission was to have a nice crowd. So it's not always about money. We gained more when we was like, here, y'all want to come? You want to come? People will skip Jesus for something free. They ain't gonna skip Jesus and pay.
Yeah,
they ain't going to hell for nobody. You hear me? Then, no, I'll skip it if it's free. So we had to give tickets away for people to come. But I called it the drug deal because then they get a hit and they see it and they like, yo, this was bad funny. This was cool. A lot of times people like, I didn't know what to think. I didn't know what to think, but y'all was just as funny as everybody else. And that was the whole point. And as far as getting into Christian comedy, I didn't get into it. It's who I was. So I do clean, like I grew up in church, man. My grandmother, Evangelist Ophelia Ephraim, my grandfather, Bishop William Ephraim, my uncles, deacons, I mean, like everything. My dad is a Jehovah's Witness.
Really?
You know what I mean? So it's like all this stuff I talk about. Like I got confused going door to door. I'm here. My grandma near Kojic, my dad a Jehovah's Witness. I'm at the door like, are you ready for Jehovah? He's like, that's not here. You can't do that here. This is not that. You know what I mean? But that's how it was. You feel me?
Yeah.
So it's like it's not, you just be yourself. Just be who you are. Derek Keener, who's on the show. Love Derek because Derek can hit you with everything. He grew up like me. So Derek can hit you. He got his dad, church, just like me. Yeah. So that's what makes us just gel so much. Sister Cantaloupe, living legend. Sister Cantaloupe was the first Medea. Really want to, she was the one dressing like the older lady, doing all that. You know what I mean? The only difference is she was the lady. She was a real lady.
Real.
Doing it. Sister Cantaloupe, legendary. Then we got Trey Mack, the young gun. Trey is a beast. You know what I mean? So I'm honored to have him on there. And then we touched the little gospel rap or inspirational rap. my man Norris J. So it's like we give you a whole show where it's like, okay, it's cool where you're not cringing. You know what I mean? You're having a great time. You don't feel guilty when you leave, and you can tell the jokes to your family and friends.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
yeah.